Hey parents, are you feeling overwhelmed by your child's constant tantrums, meltdowns, and emotional outbursts? You find yourself walking on eggshells, never knowing what might set off that next explosion? I want you to know you're definitely not alone. Did you know that 1 in 5 children struggle with a mental, emotional, or behavioral challenge? That's a huge number that doesn't even include those struggling without a formal diagnosis. But what if I told you that these challenging behaviors might be linked to an imbalance in your child's nervous system? What if there was a way to address these issues without medication? Today, let's explore that transformative approach that could change your whole family's life. So, who's this for? This video is for parents feeling exhausted by their child's frequent tantrums, meltdowns, and emotional outbursts and are looking for a drug-free solution to help their child. So with that being said, we're gonna dive right into how that nervous system affects the behavior and how neurologically focused chiropractic care can help restore that balance for your child. What we're gonna do is we're gonna learn about the root causes of these behaviors and discover a natural approach to help your child better manage their emotions and their behavior. So with that, I wanna start with a story. Let me share this story about a wonderful member of ours, Carly. We'll call her Carly. When Carly was just 3 years old, she went from being a joyful, playful little girl to experiencing intense tantrums and meltdowns, crying spells, and angry outbursts. Her anger would escalate so quickly, just snap of the fingers. She would yell, she would stomp, she would lash out, and sometimes even hurt herself. Now, this behavior started affecting her self-esteem and her enjoyment in activities, including her passion for dance. That's the big one here. Now, her family, they felt the weight of this constant tension, always being on eggshells like I was talking about, that they had numerous conversations with pediatricians, weekly therapy sessions, and meetings with school teachers and social workers, but they were still searching for peace for Carly. And after really a particularly difficult incident during her dance recital, they knew that they needed to do a different approach for Carly. And that's when they heard about neurologically focused chiropractic care from a friend, and they decided to give it a try. Now, with time and consistency, we helped rewire and regulate Carly's nervous system, leading to remarkable changes. And after about 3 to 4 months, Carly began to calm down. She started using her words to express her feelings and become less anxious and combative. Now, her smile then returned, which was awesome. She's got a beautiful smile. And while she still has moments of frustration, she learned to manage those feelings and emotions better. And the biggest highlight of all, she recently performed in a major dance competition and won several awards, showcasing her incredible progress. And we couldn't be more proud of your achievements, Carly. This is awesome. I want to share that with you. So how did that work for Carly? So let's get into the science and how this really works. Traditional approaches often focus on managing symptoms through rewards and punishments. Specialists might work on altering the environment and teaching new skills. But what if those methods don't actually bring the results that you, the parents, are hoping for? At Live Better Chiropractic, right here, we take a different approach. We look deeper into addressing the internal or root cause of those behaviors. What are those? Well, let's talk about sensory overload and nervous system dysregulation. We're gonna break that down here. Now, when the brain is overwhelmed by too much sensory input, it leads to sensory overload and disrupts the nervous system's balance. This affects the fight or flight and the rest and digest responses for our children, or all of us for that matter, but we're talking about kids here. This creates a constant state of confusion and stress when we don't have that balance. And there's a thing that gets in the way that causes that. That's called subluxation. So what's the role of subluxation? What is subluxation? Well, subluxation is the misalignments of the spine that can interfere with the nervous system's ability to process that sensory information that we were talking about. Now, this interference can make sensory overload worse, leading to heightened sensitivities and those behavioral issues. Okay, and speaking with behavior, what's the behavioral impact? Well, dysregulation in that nervous system can cause increased anxiety, irritability, and emotional meltdowns as the brain struggles to cope with that sensory overload. And how this is all connected? Well, You've got sensory overload, subluxation, and nervous system dysregulation that create a cycle that perpetuates behavioral challenges. And by addressing this interconnectedness between these three issues can lead to significant improvements, just like Carly's. So here's meat and potatoes. The big thing, how did we do this? By addressing the root cause. Now, neurologically-focused pediatric chiropractic care, we aim to help restore the nervous system balance that we were talking about by addressing those subluxations. And by taking this approach, it helps to reduce that sensory overload, then improves regulation, and then helps alleviate those behavioral issues, leading to better overall function and joy of life for your child. I want you to know, parents, there's hope. Your child's challenging behaviors are not a reflection of your parenting or something they'll simply grow out of. Often, there's a sign that their nervous system needs support. Imagine a future where your child navigates their emotions more easily, where those tantrums and meltdowns are far less frequent, and where your family feels more balanced. Just like Carly's story, there's a future that can be possible with neurologically focused chiropractic care. I invite you to click the link to learn more or to check out our fullest podcast episode on overcoming constant meltdowns, tantrums, and emotional outbursts.